Strange.
And it's time for Strange Juans with host Tom Cat for Strange Brew Podcast.
And this is Juan from the Juan on Juan podcast.
Let's get strange. Welcome to the Sunshine State. What's going on? This is another episode of Strange Juans coming inside your ear holes. I'm one of your hosts, Tom Cat, aka whatever you want to call me. Who else is on this podcast, which it's named after him?
Yeah, all right, that's Juan from the Juan on Juan podcast. You know what I mean?
What's going on, man? I got some scotch. I was just fucking around and I poured some lemon in it, and it's fucking good. It kind of is like a whiskey sour. I'm gonna start doing this all the time.
I think drinking scotch is like drinking paint thinner.
I know. I like scotch though.
It's fucking horrendous. I tried no, it was
smoky
smoked
scotch.
bourbon.
Yeah, smoky scotch isn't good.
That's scotch though, right? Smoked bourbon?
No, bourbon is totally different. Bourbon is a different form of whiskey.
Oh, well, then it was whiskey. Whatever. My fucking bro, it was for New Year's and my cousin was making all this shit and we got fucked up, bro. Well,
it's like Jack Daniels. Me and Billy tried Jack Daniels like recently, like not too recently, but a couple months ago, and Jack Daniels is fucking horrible, and that's a bourbon. I'm like, I used to drink that shit as a kid. It is fucking.
You drink the honey
nasty.
one?
That was not terrible, but there's
no,
better
it's not.
ones.
But
Chelsea loves
the
apple whiskey. That shit's good.
For my 21st birthday, I want to say, I got blackout drunk, and they kept having to take the Jack Daniels away from me because I was chugging it directly from the bottle.
Yes.
And shortly after that, I remember absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
I blacked out. I remember. Oh, no. I remember my girlfriend at the time and my stepbrother and my cousin, I think, they were putting me on the toilet because I said I needed to shit. But I was like, oh.
I gotta shit.
So I'm completely naked, right? And then they put me in the hot tub in the hotel because it was a hotel. They put me in the hot tub, and then all I remember is like in and out. I look up, I look down, I see my penis, and then I look up and I see my stepbrother putting water on me. Like I'm like, what the? I was like, what the fuck? My dick's out, and then I look up and I just see my stepbrother like throwing water on me because they thought I was fucking dying.
That's so fucked. I can't ever drink. I think I've said this before, but I can't drink Smirnoff ever again, especially anything with watermelon. I can't drink even watermelon juice or watermelon vodka, anything like that, because on grade 8 graduation, we had a tent in my backyard, and we all pitched like $20 for 26ers, and we had 6 26ers for like 8 kids, and we're like literally like 13, 14, and they're all stashed in the grass. And it was funny because my mom must have been watching the window, and we had like a cigarette, and we were like lighting it, and she saw the flicker of the light. She's like, "You guys fucking smoking cigarettes out here," and freaking out. And then so everyone fell asleep except for me. And then my buddies came, the other buddies came, and they knocked on the tent because they paid for the booze too. So I was like, all right, I'm ready to go. And my friends are like half awake, and they're like, all right, we'll get up and come. And then so I like chugged like the 26 or almost all of it while walking to this like party, and I was fucked, like completely fucked. I smacked my fucking head and shit. And then my mom's like trying to give me consequences the next day. She had like some counselor come in, and the counselor's like, he has his karma right here. He is super hungover. I couldn't even fucking open my eyes and shit. I was fucked. So on this episode, we're going to take a look at the Florida Machete murder of Athalia Lindsley. And this is a pretty interesting case. It's kind of fucked up too. I was looking, and I had this on the docket for a while, and I'm like, let's finally get into this. It's just fucked. And like I've said, right, we're not leaving Florida until we cover almost all the Florida crime.
There's plenty of those, bro. There's plenty of those in the Gunshine State. And I think that, we're going to be here for a minute. I can't imagine Florida in the 70s, right? Like this.
Oh, I know.
74. I can't imagine Florida in the 70s.
In a place that's supposedly like we're super peaceful, like not really dangerous, at least according to the one woman that gets bludgeoned to death, but we'll get into that. But this is like, well, maybe we'll eventually dive into some, maybe because we'll go into my neck of the woods and we'll talk about some Ontario true crime one day to kind of, meet in the middle because we talk so much about Florida. But so Athalia Ponsell Lindsley was a former Broadway actress, a model, an inventor, a real estate agent, and an author. Sounds like she couldn't pick a career because she sucked at everything.
Well, what is it? Jack of all trades, master of none, but better than a jack of trade of one, or some shit like that. I'm fucking something like that. I think maybe Pythagoras or somebody said that one time.
Well, and supposedly nobody liked this bitch. Supposedly she was kind of a see you next Tuesday, and even she tried to run for some election in Florida for some shit, for a representative or something like that, and she got no votes. Literally, like, everyone thought that this woman was
sorry, bro. She was a Karen.
She looks like one.
Like, bro, my neighbor is a white woman and her name is Karen.
Have you ever heard who Chris Webby is?
No.
I think you would like him. He's a rapper that calls out a lot of the shit, and he talks about all the shit that's going on. Like, I gotta show you one song. It's called Raw Thoughts. It's number 7 on it. He does a bunch of these different songs called Raw Thoughts, and he talks about like, I'll get the shot with a gun to my head, and then you can vaccinate the dead. Like, he says shit like that.
Did you ever check out that guy, bro, that I told you, the guy that you looked up to, the rapper? Was it Jedi Mind Tricks? That he was
I know. I looked
apologizing?
into it, and I listened to that like album, and it is interesting. Like, the things he says, it's like, bro, you're kind of going like back on some of the shit that you were
everything.
into.
He's like, I just made that song just because, and it was.
And he's saying that he like did research into chemtrails and the Vatican assassins, and he said he found the data and how it was real about Bohemian Grove. But then he takes back what he says about the skeletons on the moon and shit. For all of people listening, it's go Vinnie Paz, End of Days, one of my favorite songs since I was 17, when it kind of came out, 16 or 17 when it came out for me. And
that was fake news.
Yeah, and he's going off about how, I was just throwing shit out there. But yeah, this woman is a Karen. But that Chris Webby song, he's like, my aunt is named Karen. She's a nice ass lady. Like, he's talking about how like ridiculous all the stuff has gotten. But this is pretty crazy. Like, she supposedly, when she got with her husband, they tried to sell the house, and they're both were real estate agents, and they couldn't sell their house. It's so ridiculous. But yeah, everyone thought that nobody liked this woman. Nobody liked her. She does look like a bitch. Not gonna lie. She looks like, one of these white bread women that, get everything handed to them. But I just think it's funny that she's like, you're a Broadway actress. That didn't work out. You're an inventor. What the fuck did she invent?
I don't know. I saw that, though.
Author.
That she was an inventor.
You know what she invented? The bras that are like pointy? That's what she invented. Those fucking 60s and 70s bras. And I feel like it made women's boobs pointy back then. It's like, why did you make the bra so it like the tits were like fucking a triangle?
I don't know, bro, but I remember.
Strange.
I'm not gonna say that, but
what?
When you were younger, you messed around with a girl. They had those cone tits,
Yes. Oh yeah. Before they developed fully. Oh
yeah.
Yes, I've been with many of those when I was a young child because I stupidly had sex young.
It's like some shit from Austin Gold. Was it the Austin? What the fuck? What's the movie?
Oh yeah, Austin Powers.
Austin Powers, where like the freaking guns go off the tits. Yeah.
Machine gun jubblies. Yeah, it's just I remember there's this chick, and I was just such a man whore when I was like, it sounds fucked, but I was like 13, 14. I think I was like 15. This chick was like 13 or 14, and within 3 hours of meeting her, we had sex, and she had fucking pointy ass titties.
Damn, bro, 13 just slaying that poon.
That's fucking stupid, man. I was a stupid kid. So, well, and so in 19 so yeah, she was described as a sharp-tongued, aggressive woman. In 1970, Athalia ran for the Florida legislature and lost. So she tried to run for this, lost. In 1973, she married James Lindsley, so that's obviously where she got her last name from, a real estate agent and a former mayor of St. Augustine, Florida. Have you been there? Have you been to St. Augustine?
Yeah, I have.
It's a really nice place, and there's like no crime and shit.
Well, that's where the castles and stuff are, the forts.
Oh,
There's a bunch of, it's like an old town. I want to go there. You should go there because they do ghost tours, bro. They
that'd
do
be
like,
awesome.
yeah, they take you around the town because it's like a really antique town from like fucking
Yeah.
forever ago.
Me and Anton would
And
talk about getting you up to fucking Buffalo so we can all go out and do shit.
fuck that,
Come to Niagara
bro.
Falls, bro. Come see the
Now,
falls.
why would I want to go to New York? What a shithole that is,
No, go
bro.
to Canada when this shit ends because the truckers will make this end. Something's gonna happen soon. It's gonna blow the top off.
Could you imagine if they make Trudeau like step down or something?
He should. He should. He's a criminal. He's caught for racketeering. For like, there's a laundry list of shit that man has done, and we're not gonna get onto this episode. We covered it on the episode that got pulled from YouTube because
Really? Did it really?
it got pulled from YouTube for medical misinformation. Because it said because they literally said they pulled down videos that speak against the WHO's narrative. That's pretty much how it was put. That if the recommendations from the WHO, if you speak against it, your videos will be taken down.
Yeah, they had said that a while back. I'm actually
We're gonna start
surprised. I'm surprised that a lot of my shit hasn't gotten pulled down, but I don't really.
Well, I said we had that episode about talking totalitarianism, and we went off on that episode and said a lot of shit about the shot and stuff like that, and that didn't get taken down. But it's just like it seemed like because the name was the Freedom Convoy, YouTube's like, no. We're already having enough videos of filming of the cops taking everyone's gas away, which is against the Geneva Convention.
What?
Yeah, so they're stealing gas from the truckers and arresting people that are giving gas to the truckers, which is during a peaceful protest, which it has been the entire time. The crime rate is literally so down. It's like nothing. The crime rate has dropped drastically in Ottawa.
Did you see the containers of bricks that they put out there? You saw that?
Yeah. They put bricks. All of a sudden, a truck dropped off a huge container full of bricks. Like, they set up things, and Trudeau was in control of this stuff. And the Ottawa police are hopefully going to be held accountable because even a lawyer in the States said that this is against the Geneva Code, essentially, and that they can't do this, and it is completely illegal. And the police, just very quickly, the police, the fucking head of the police in Ottawa, guess what he's part of? The UN, and he was a peacekeeper that was involved with the peacekeeping, the R-word people, because peacekeepers come in to other countries and then end up raping people while they're there, and then it was a big problem. You can look it up, and this guy is in the pocket of fucking Klaus Schwab. Like, he's all about the economic forum and stuff. All this stuff all connects, man. David Icke's right and always has been right. Everything.
I'll try to get him on the pod soon.
Yeah, I really want to get David Icke on the pod. I'm fucking gonna put the feelers out there. So yeah, she married this guy, you know what I mean, and he was a mayor. While they're still married in September, by the next January, the two still lived in separate homes. So they got married, and he lived like here over on one end, and then she lived in a separate fucking house. And they both couldn't. And Athalia was trying to sell a house she was living, but didn't want to leave it unoccupied. And they just couldn't sell this house, which is funny because they're both real estate agents. So it is comical. And they were married for pretty much a year, and they live separately. Strange.
Oh, that's how much he fucking hated her. If you can't even stand your own wife.
Why get married to her then? A year.
Like, I don't know, bro. People do a lot of stupid shit. It's funny because like nowadays I'll see on Facebook, right? People from high school are getting married and all this shit. And I just came across like some girl that I went to school with. She was married for a while, and then I just saw that she put single, and she's like,
it happens all the time. These people get married young.
They want to rush.
You'll regret it. Yes, you'll regret it.
Fucking point.
Hey, I just got engaged after being with Chelsea for 12 years on and off.
I don't know how she hasn't left your ass. But that's beyond me, bro.
I know. Maybe she's crazy as I am. So, but like, she never got the opportunity to actually sell her house because on January 23rd, 1974, between 6 and 6:15 p.m., the 56-year-old went outside to walk her pet blue jay. She walked her bird.
No way. Is it really what that was?
Yes.
I know she was like taking in stray dogs and shit.
She literally took her pet blue jay out for a walk.
No fucking way.
How retarded is that?
What the fuck?
Yeah,
she literally, what the fuck? How do you take a fucking bird out for a walk?
You
Very
imagine it
strange.
trying to fly away, and you're just like, no, bitch.
It's a blue
Like on a
jay.
string, bro. Get the fuck.
No, she clipped off his wings.
Jeez, dude.
And then PETA came in and was like, we can't have this. And PETA's the one that killed her.
Dum dum dum.
So know what her Blue Jay's name was?
What was her name? What was his name?
Clementine.
Was it
Wanna
really?
hear-
Where the
yeah.
fuck did you see this shit?
You want to hear a funny story? I had a
Good.
cat named Winston. So my aunt that rest in peace, she's the aunt that drank way too much. She, at the point of when she realized that she had a tumor. You think I'm bad? She was drinking a 26er a day.
A lot. I don't
26er
drink a
a
lot.
day. A bottle of vodka a day. Not a Mickey. A bottle of vodka a day.
Her pet Blue Jay Clementine.
So a story. So she could never seem to take care of her animals, so we ended up taking some of them. They end up taking our dogs, and then we kind of traded him for a cat. And we ended up moving from a bigger city when I was a kid, and they had a cat named Winston, Winston Churchill. And do you know what Winston Churchill's wife was named?
What was it? What's her name?
Clementine. So we got another cat, and we named it Clementine. And then she got hit by a car when we moved near high school.
Would you name your dog now?
Charlie
for
Chaplin. I wanted to name him, Rogan, but Chelsea wasn't going for that because we always talked about calling a dog Charlie, maybe. So we named him Charlie. So now I call him like Charlie Chaplin. I'm like Charlie Murphy, Charlie Manson. I call him a bunch of shit. Yeah, he's a crazy dog. So on her porch, she encountered a man wielding a machete who proceeded to hack her to death.
It's like, fuck you and your bird. Bitch. Yeah, fuck you. Did you think he let the bird go?
No, I think he used it. Oh no, I'm not gonna say that. He stuffed it and used it as a pocket pussy.
No, could you imagine he fucking like batted it with like a fucking batter? So he like throws it up in there and just fucking whacks it.
Yo,
How
he
dark is
mucked
that?
her up though. He fucking mucked
shit.
her up. Blood
Oh,
everywhere.
fuck, bro.
Her fucking the JJ was hanging out. Her head was pretty much gone. He mucked this chick right the fuck up.
Yeah, I didn't see those pictures, but let me look.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts. There's a bunch of fuck shit. So this is out front of her porch. She got hacked up. For the people watching the YouTube, that's her husband, and that's her, and this is out front of her house. And there's some of the crime scene photos. Hopefully this isn't a pull from Twitch, but
Former mayor's wife. She was actually the mayor's wife.
Her fucking if you see in the one picture, a little grain, you don't want to show it too much, but her little JJ hairs are showing out.
Yeah, she's got a bush going on there.
Yeah, so it is the 70s, I'm all for it. So by the time the police arrived, Athalia had been nearly decapitated. Like her head was pretty much off. It was lopped off to the side. Police Chief Virgil Stewart said, "She was dead when we got there. She had been badly butchered. Her head was almost cut off." I don't know.
Have
I
you
picture him as
seen
an old man.
Have you seen the show Dexter, bro?
Of course I have.
Have you
I
seen
just
the whole
finished up-
thing?
Yeah, I just watched the last season of it. The new one.
Don't tell me what happens. I'm getting through it with my wife, and then we're gonna get into the new season. So
You're gonna be disappointed.
do you think you could ever kill somebody, Tom?
If they take away my freedom, maybe. I'm just joking. It depends on the situation. Honestly, it really does. If my life was at stake or Chelsea's life was at stake, according to Billy, he would kill someone for his dog. So I don't know. That's a little pushing it, but
Okay, John Wick.
yeah, literally, that's what I called him that. But if it came down to it, I would do what I had to do to survive.
So what's the gun situation for you guys? Can you guys have guns or not?
Yes, it takes a lot of bullshit. I got a lot of friends with guns. The buddy that went up to Ottawa to cook burgers for the truckers, he's got a shitload of guns. He's got handguns and stuff like that.
So you could still get some. It's just not as easy.
No, yeah, it's not as easy. You can like the most easy thing you can get is like a shotgun and a rifle is easy, but Trudeau's trying to ban all guns because guess why? He doesn't want us to stand up against this communist regime. But also like if you have to get a special license for handguns.
Wow.
Yeah, so,
And you can do concealed carry as long as you have all this shit.
yeah, kind of.
You know that's one of the main reasons I haven't moved out of Florida, because
Yeah, I know.
it's so readily available here. I don't know how it would feel if I went somewhere else, like another country, for example.
I
Like
almost want, like, I was joking with homie that's coming out with their art, Shane, and I was like, you know what? He's like, I wouldn't want to live in Canada. So this is the guy that me and Juan knows him a little better than I do, but he's doing essentially a new merch design, which might be the new logo for Strange Brew. It's awesome. You'll see when it comes out. It's fucking absolutely dope. And he was like, yeah, I wouldn't want to live in Canada. I was like, I know. Yeah, it's pretty bad right now. I was like, I want to move down to Florida with Juan. And he's like, you would definitely get along with the Sunshine State.
yeah, bro. I mean, if I have to live anywhere where the fucking air hurts my face, there's a problem. And again, I mean,
I hate winter.
The heat it fucking sucks, bro. It does. But I'd rather deal with that than deal with the not going to work because I can't dig my car out of the snow.
Yeah, that's happened to me recently. So a neighbor, 19-year-old Locke McCormick, said he could hear Athalia's screams from his house. I didn't do anything though. I just heard her scream. Like, I thought she was having some wild orgy. I just didn't go and check on her. When he went to check on her, he did check on her. He discovered her butchered body. So he's the lone person that found her. Hearing her scream, imagine showing up and being like, all right, shit.
I'm going to go take a shower now. And I just heard this lady just screaming for it. Could you imagine those screams, bro? You know what it is, bro? In a movie that you know how people play that they're scared in a movie, but could you imagine the real thing, like real fear? I don't think that people are able to like portray that 100% anytime, because when you're acting, you're just acting. But if
I don't know, the chick at the end of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre did a pretty good job. Have you seen the original? It's fucked, dude. I'm telling you,
I want to say I have, but I probably don't remember.
1973, maybe, I think it is. Something like that. It's
based on a true story, right?
It's based on Ed Gein, which is not really a true story. It's just based on Ed Gein's fucked up
inspired by.
Yeah, that's all it is. Yeah, and they tried. When I was a kid, I was like, "There's actually this maniac wearing people's faces and cutting people up with chainsaws." It's like, no, it's this lonely old man that killed 2 women and then dug up dead bodies to wear a skin suit of a woman because his mother always wanted him to be a little girl. It's Ed Gein's fuck. Throw back to that episode if you haven't listened to it.
Yeah, I'm looking now.
So he told police he saw a 40 to 60-year-old man wearing a white shirt and dark pants walking away from the house. A witness reported that there was blood in the grass. At the point of a police officer ordered the ambulance attendants to hose down the blood. What the fuck?
Yeah, I saw that. They really fucked that crime scene up, huh?
Man, this is not what I keep saying
but
about true
again,
crime
this is
cases.
the 70s, bro.
Stupid, man.
This is the 70s, so
this is when they started coining the term fucking serial killers in the 70s.
Yeah, because could you imagine how much easier it was? Imagine how easy it was.
Hose it down, boys.
Back then, bro, like back in the ancient times, just to go into there's no cameras, there's no forensics, just stab somebody and you're out of there. You know
that's
what
what Billy always talks about. We were talking about Jack the Ripper. He was like, imagine how easy it is just to like get away with murder. And I was like, pretty much. But it's just like, they're like, all right, you know what? There is too much blood. Too much. All right. How are we going to figure out who did this? Maybe we just got to spray all the blood away. And then, it makes sense after we do that. It's like so stupid.
Have you covered the murder house serial killer from the Chicago World Fair?
Oh, H.H. Holmes. Yes, we did.
You guys covered? Yeah. That
and
fucking crazy.
To shout it out, like, we want to dive into Jack the Ripper because it's such a big case. A lot of people already know about it, but we want to do our own spin on it. And I wanted to get into Jack the Ripper before we started getting into the big time men, which I was calling them, like the big time serial killers and stuff like that, to start back then and kind of move forward. Because I have my weird OCD. But the thing is, we covered H.H. Holmes too, and like there is connections to H.H. Holmes and Jack the Ripper. I would like to do. We might do it. It might come down the docket. We might later on talk about conspiracy theories surrounding Jack the Ripper because there's a fucking lot. It's strange. So the sheriff offered $500 reward to anyone with information on the case. Look up $500 in today's money. Back in 1970.
$500 in 1974.
On February 17, 1974, county mechanic named Dewey Lee said he searched the marshes 1 mile from Lindsay's home and discovered a machete and a
$2,600
package.
bucks.
It's not that great. He discovered a machete, but it's Florida, so you know what? Anyone will take that. Some fucking homeless guy's like, you know what? I saw her get butchered, and I just kind of sat there and I drank my whiskey, and you know what? Like, I heard her screaming and I saw it happen, but man, I didn't want to leave my spot. This is my spot. So, he discovered the machete in a package containing a bloodied white shirt, dark pants, a watch, and a pair of shoes. So it does line up with the other guy's story that you saw someone in a white shirt and dark pants. So after Athalia's death, Francis Bemis, a 70-year-old retired department store public relations exec and fashion consultant. Oh, how white bread are you?
Hey, bro, I got David Icke's email now. So.
All right, well, fucking send it to me. I'm getting David Icke on the show. Hey, buddy, I've worshipped you since I was a kid. You want to fucking talk?
I have an altar dedicated to you in my fucking closet.
Yeah. Okay, so this 70 Francis Bemis, this white bread lady, this fashion exec, this public relations executive fashion consultant, told her friends that she knew something about the murder. Francis, who reportedly had a friend, reportedly a friend of Athalia's. Keep fucking up her name, because it's like Athalia. Was reportedly a friend of Athalia's, who even said she had been collaborating with a writer on a book about Athalia after her death. And this woman was all like, I think it's a nice place to live. So she did not seem afraid when Athalia turned up slain and told St. Augustine record, according to the record of St. Augustine, she said, I think St. Augustine is the safest place I've ever lived. I go out for walks at night and will continue to do so. I went out for a walk. Okay, fuck now that thing popped
the
up.
Same night that the murder took place.
Yeah. I'm gonna redo that for the audio. If I remember to edit. Just because for some reason now when something happens, you can hear if an email pops up, you can hear it over the recording. I'm like,
oh, that was my email. My bad.
Yeah, no, that's good. She did not seem afraid when Athalia turned up slain and told St. Augustine record. She said, I think St. Augustine is the safest place I've ever lived. I go walking at night and will continue to do so. I went out walking the same night the murder took place. I ain't scared. So, she didn't say I ain't scared, but so Francis had indeed continued to go out walking at night, including on November 3rd, 1974, a little over 9 months after Athalia was murdered. The next day, not far from where Athalia was murdered, a man walking his dog found Francis dead in a vacant parking lot.
That shows me, bro. I think the cops did this shit, bro. Somebody in law
What?
enforcement.
You think so?
Yeah, bro. How the fuck would they have known that she literally said? What are the chances that they got her too? Out of all the people that she was quote unquote out walking the same night that the murder took place. You know what I mean?
And honestly, it's like kind of like karma. Karma's a bitch, and I don't want to alienate our audience in any retrospect or any form.
You don't want to victim blame.
But even when it comes to the shit that's going on, karma's a bitch, and with the shots, I don't want to alienate anybody or anything. Or if you got it, you got it. I don't give a shit. I don't care if you think that it's gonna help you or help somebody else. I'm happy for you, and it's all about freedom of choice. But there was a comedian. I'm probably going to post it on one of my TikTok pages, but a comedian, this girl bragging about how she's like, I got the 2 shots. I got the booster. Even got the shingle shot. I got my flu shot. And she's like, I went around to meet and greets and kept touring, and I never got COVID once. And guess what? During that live special, she's like, yeah, God must love me. Jesus loves me. She collapses on stage, smacks her head, and has a fucking fractured skull. She collapsed.
I heard about that.
Yeah. And things happen for a reason. As much as Anton doesn't want to believe so, things happen everything happens for a reason, no matter what
Like
it is.
God telling her to shut the fuck up.
It kind of is. Like, what are you talking about? Like, stop bragging about something, and it's not something shaming people. I'm not being like, well, I'm healthier than you are because I didn't get this poison. Like, I don't give a shit what you do with your body. Do whatever you want, but there's evidence coming out due to the contrary of what everyone's been saying. So,
yeah, Tom, whatever you want to put in your ass is your own problem.
exactly.
Right?
Juan's fucking tagline. Because when now we're on this new network, they asked for a tagline. That should have been yours on the network. So Frances has indeed continued to go out walking at night. And then she was found dead. So Frances apparently had been clobbered repeatedly with a stone block. She got bludgeoned with a stone block. Intense. She was semi-nude. Also, what they didn't mention, at least in what I have, is that that if when Athalia died, her panties were like her pants were pulled down.
But she wasn't raped.
There was no sign of it, but maybe this guy's wanted to cop a feel.
Did they have condoms back then? Right, they did. Right?
Yes, condoms had existed for a while, man. Before that, people just wore sheepskin.
Yeah, just fucking fold it over your dick.
Yeah, put a paper bag on there. So they didn't even, and the same thing, and she was semi-nude with most of her clothes have been ripped off. However, an autopsy report found that no indication of rape. But the thing is too with Athalia, same thing. Her clothes were taken off too. Her pants were pulled down. You can see it from the crime scene photos. Her old bush is hanging out. So it's just like this. It was the same person clearly. But also like he wanted something out of that. He wanted to see something. He's just bored. And I don't know if they wouldn't have DNA at this time. So he could have got it all, he could have been whacking off and then just went into a bush and jizzed the load. I don't fucking know what these people are doing to these. Why would you take off the clothes? I don't understand that. It's gotta be something sexual.
Yeah. No, I get you. And again, it's since they're sick, right? I think that being a serial killer is sick. I think it's contributed. I don't think anybody is born evil, right? I think that something has to happen in their life that flips that switch and they want to harm or hurt other people.
Yeah, or they're possessed by the reptilians. Which is kind of crazy. So an account by a New York Daily News noted that her body had been burned as though a killer had tried to destroy the corpse. Police Chief Vigil Stewart did not believe that there was a connection between Frances and Athalia's murders at the time. And it seems like this guy is a fucking idiot. So with the two women violently dead in St. Augustine, Florida in 1974, it's time to consider the theories, okay? Theory 1. Athalia's husband, James Lindsley, was the murderer. The first theory is that Athalia's husband, James Lindsley, was responsible for the murder. James was easygoing real estate agent who had served 2 terms as the mayor of St. Augustine. Though they lived in separate homes, James did not have marital problems, according to Athalia Lindsley, however, had sent letters to her sister showing that they've had issues. So he said it's all good, but she's saying to her sister it's not all good. And Jimmy,
90% of the time, it's the husband that kills the wife.
It is. And they got to stop making that statistic because they always say that and then it's not actually the husband. But it does happen more often than not. But there is those cases where they blame the husband when it's really not him. Like this with the staircase murder. You heard about that, right?
No.
Bitch falls down, hits her head in the stairs. They assume it's the husband, but she had scratch marks on her head. They demonized the man for being bisexual, essentially, and saying that he was cheating and wanted her dead, blah, blah, blah. And then there's a theory how she got it. I don't know if we'll ever get into it. It's interesting. And Netflix did a documentary about it. Chelsea watched it. And that an owl attacked this chick. Because there's scratch marks reminiscent of an owl. So they're saying an owl. She opened the door, an owl flew in and attacked her. And then she fell down the stairs.
Death by owl, bro.
So supposedly her sister said, like, Jimmy is, or what she said to her sister was, Jimmy is a complete leech, a complete liar. She wrote in one letter. She also said that she changed her locks of her house. There was also gossip among the community members that the crime scene was hosed down to protect James' involvement. What?
What the fuck?
Well, it kind of makes sense why they hosed down. He's like, you know what? I'll pay you off a little bit. I'm not really making much from real estate.
Well,
I can't sell a
he
house,
was
but
the mayor. No.
yeah. It's kind of
We
like,
know that these people in power do this type of shit. They literally live above the law. And if they're
Yeah.
writing the laws, he's going to
True.
call in a favor and be like, hey,
True.
go ahead and wipe that shit off, man.
Yeah, I
You what
know.
mean? I hated this bitch in her fucking blue jays,
Hey,
so I wanted her
no, but
dead.
the thing is, like, he could have said, like, I got you your job. Maybe one of the cops, he got him his job, and he's like, I got you your job. Now it's time to extend that olive branch. You help me now.
Remember that one case that we covered, the killer cop here in Florida? He was going around just killing people.
Yep.
Yeah, so
shit.
that's not far fetched, bro. I like that idea.
There was gossip amongst the community members. That they did protect him supposedly, but according to Elizabeth Randall, author of the book detailing Athalia's murder, James complained about how many rumors flew around the town. And testimony at Athalia's murder trial, though, interestingly, not a trial prosecuting James. More on that in a bit. We'll talk about that a little bit. But James told the jury that he owned a machete resembling the one used to kill his wife. He was like, you know what? Like, I own a machete. Everybody owns a machete, man.
Yeah, everybody owns at least two.
And we all own. Do you have a machete, Juan?
No.
You don't have a machete? What about the grass, the tall grass going around your house? You don't use a machete to cut it down?
We use hedge trimmers, bro. What the you think I live in a fucking swamp, bro? What
This
the
guy's
fuck?
like, I really enjoy exercise. I don't know what a lawnmower is. I don't want a lawnmower. I just want to use a machete because you know what? I feel like Indiana Jones going through the jungle. It's just, and he admits, he's like, I have one that's resembling the same machete. Why would you be like, yeah, I own a machete, but it's nothing like the one in the murder.
Yeah.
He's like, I just really love, that film. It's not even out yet. Actually, I was gonna say, what I love the movie Friday the 13th, but it's not even out at this time. It's like, I just love Jason Voorhees.
So, yeah.
That's
so he
crazy.
turned the machete over to the police. So apparently they fucking.
He did what he said. He usually kept it in his trunk of his car. Why you have a machete in your trunk?
To hack at undergrowth while looking at properties for his real estate.
Oh
That's
my
a good
God.
excuse, bro.
It's a good excuse, but it's really fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It's extremely stupid.
That shit would not fly at all, like, nowadays. Like, are you retarded, bro? Are you stupid?
Like, all right, like, he's like out front of this house, somebody's selling it to him. He's like, you know what? Like, this place would look a lot better and it would help me sell it if I could just hack some
Here,
of
let
this.
me just just starts cutting down the fucking hedges in the front. It's like, what are you doing, bro? What the fuck's wrong with you?
Or they're just inclining about maybe him selling the house, and it's just like they call him and they see him out front, and then he's like hacking all the weeds out front. It's like, bro, we didn't even ask you to sell the house yet.
Yeah, I know. It's stupid, bro. It's stupid. I think that's dumb.
So after Athalia's murder, he did turn over the machete to the police. All right, so this is another thing. They say residents own multiple machetes. At the time, it was common for residents in the country to own one or two machetes.
County.
The county, yeah. They had not the country. So at the time, it was common for residents in the county to own one or two machetes, used to fight back against Florida fauna. So fucking brush growth, which is,
Yeah,
I just don't know. Didn't
Dutch
hedge
Rudder
clippers?
said, dude, this isn't even the right house. Like, oh, my bad. Just let me wrap it up. Just finish fucking whack. Like, the fucking owner of the house comes out like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? And just cut.
Oh, it's
cut
the
it off
house
your-
next door. But didn't hedge clippers exist?
I don't fucking know, bro. I feel like the 70s was like stone age, fucking apes and shit. Like, especially in Florida. Come on now.
Well, it's funny, it's hilarious because I always wanted to be a director since I was a kid, right? I always had a video camera. Me and my friends do skits. and I've loved horror movies since a very young kid. So I was like, you know what? The hedge clippers have been used in horror films, but there's never been a killer in a horror film that legitimately uses hedge clippers. So I literally designed, like, I thought of I think I called it like Dead Before Dawn or something that actually probably is a movie now, but I named it something crazy. And I remember, like, I was like fucking 12 or 13. I was taking pictures of this mask that I had, this old man mask with like hedge clippers and shit. And I was a weird kid, man. I loved fucking dark.
Still are a fucking weirdo, bro.
I know. So, so it's kind of funny that, so at the trial, James was shown the machete that was used on his wife. James could not confirm whether it was his, telling the judge, all machetes look alike to me. That is suspect, if anything. It's like, yeah, I can't tell you if that's my machete. It does look like all machetes look the same to me. They all got a brown handle, sharp
It's like
blade.
a fucking sword. It's like a samurai sword. I mean, we all use it around here. You know what I mean? I find it therapeutic to cut people's fucking hedges down just for the fuck of it. And you come out and your hedges are all fucked up because this guy's just like, yeah, I'm just doing. Get the fuck out of here, bro. What are you doing?
He thinks he's doing the Edward Scissorhands, and he's like
Fucking
trying to make a
weirdo.
fucking. He's trying to make like a dragon or a dinosaur, and it's just looks mucked up to fuck. That's so funny.
That'd be the Florida version of Edward Scissorhands. Just some guy with two machetes, just just fucking going at it, bro.
So I think it's important to mention that the people may be imagining, who are like listening to this, maybe, you know, they're imagining Jason Voorhees, like I mentioned, murdering this lady, but in reality, everyone had a machete, so it could have been Jimmy down the street. Why do you guys own so many machetes?
I think it's bullshit, bro. I think this guy was. I think it's so convenient, right? He used the
And
weapon.
everyone owned it. Do you own a machete?
No, you already asked me, Tom. No,
I know. So like,
but my neighbor owns a samurai sword.
I have mine over there. I call it my communist killer.
Yeah, a real samurai, like fucking legit, bro. I picked it up and I was like, this thing is fucking sick.
Yeah, I have my Honshu. Let me go get it.
Well, let me go cut your fucking hedges with it. You know what I mean? Fucking awesome. There goes Tom. I'm about to take out my AR, bro, and just flex my AR. What a fucking loser. Who brings a fucking sword to a gunfight, bro? I'm about to get my AR and just fucking flex that shit because it's America.
Man, this is my communist killer, man.
So you don't own any guns, Tom?
Not yet, at least.
Man, bro.
My whole thing is, though, right? I own pellet guns. You know what? I like that Bill Burr joke, even though he's changed my opinion. I love his stand up, but his stuff about the stuff that's going on is kind of like, oh, you're sketchy, man. He made that. He's like, you know what? He's like, you know, if someone comes in and breaks your house and you have a pellet gun and you shoot him with it, especially in like the face or the neck, he's like, they might come back, but he's like, they're gonna go outside and reassess what they're doing because it's gonna fucking hurt, and they're gonna be fuck, and they're gonna run out of there and they're gonna think about it for a second, like,
oh my eye, dude. He's gonna say, dude, that really hurt. It's like, well, you're trying to rob me. I know, but fuck, that really hurt, bro.
Well, it's this idea. Another Bill Burr joke. How same thing. He's talking about how if he's like, because he just bought a gun and he's like, you know, they tell you to keep the stock in one room and the bullets in another room.
He's running around the house.
Running around the house. He's like, where's the bullets? They're in the living room. He's in the living room.
Yeah, I saw that live, dude, here in Florida.
Yeah,
he came to Orlando and I saw that live. That's fucking awesome. Hilarious. He's a fucking liberal fuck, but he's hilarious.
I know. So, according to Randall's book, there was a gap around 15 to 25 minutes in James' alibi. It supposedly occurred between the time that James drove home from the grocery store when he had been shopping with Athalia and the time he drove back to his home. Randall kind of says that James had enough time to drive to Athalia's house during the period. Unfortunately, that, you know, just 20-minute gap in the schedule where no one sees you, suddenly you're open to being a murderer. I get it, but at the same time, this was in broad daylight.
Yeah, it's
how many murders happen in broad daylight and it's nothing, like nobody sees shit. One guy hears her scream and he goes, checks it out. He's like, wow, this chick's beheaded.
That's literally the case. Like a 20-minute gap in your schedule, you might be a fucking murderer, bro. Like,
Theory 2.
Cops were retarded back then.
Theory 2. The second theory is Atalia's neighbor, Alan Stanford, murdered her in a culmination of a month-long feud.
Accumulation.
Accumulation.
Fuck.
Whatever.
Bro, they're gonna leave a bad review again because you can't fucking read.
Yeah, I know. I'm retarded, I guess. We're the most cringy podcast out there, according to one person. So, months-long feud, according to the New York Daily News. Athalia loved animals and she took in all these animals, including noisy dogs and even at one point a goat.
What a fucking goat! Fucking, you imagine, bro? Like, how annoying they are.
It does take a lot to get a gun in Canada. Thanks, Dutch. It sucks. But I got a lot of buddies with guns. But it's just I work with a girl. She has a hobby farm. She has goats, pigs, and it's just like it's not for any. It's just for fun.
Is she hot, Tom?
Yeah.
Big old cone titties.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh. So yeah, and that it's just fine that these people took in she took in all these animals. Obviously the bluebird she probably took in. The noise from these critters often disgruntled her neighbors. According to author Elizabeth Randall, both Atalia's neighbors, the Stanfords and the McCormicks, filed public complaints about the noise in 1972, resulting in a $50 fine for disturbing the peace. She had taken a lot of animals in her free time to have her neighbors be upset about it.
My dad's neighbor has a donkey, bro.
Why?
He's got pigs, donkeys.
So he's a hobby farm. Essentially, a hobby farm is like you have all these animals, but you're not using them for livestock or anything like that. You're hanging out with them. Yeah.
Strange. But the donkeys are loud as fuck, bro. So I can see where that would be a problem for some people.
It's not that bad. But you're having just a little bit.
Test. Am I really?
You hear it?
No, I don't hear shit.
All right, you're good. Whatever. Fuck, I don't give a shit. It sounds good. Don't worry about it. I just think it's because you have that mic hooked to the Rodecaster, which they develop mics literally for.
Shut up, Tom. It's not it, bro.
All right, so no, it's not. At least it's not the E, like fucking mini me. So Randall then describes an escalating neighborly feud in which Atalia's outraged the Stanfords by cutting back their trees and extended over her property line. You have all the legal right to do that. If somebody's like trees hanging over their bushes or going into your yard, you have the right to cut it down. The fact that people are upset about that.
Tom, if I ever see your fucking bush touching my property line, bro, I'm fucking cutting that shit, bro.
If I see that blue jay in my yard, I'm gonna fucking shoot it with a pellet gun. So according to Randall, Athalia also planted bamboo across a city easement. What's an easement? At the corner of Stanford Driveway, which the Stanfords had the city remove.
So an easement is a right that you give the city in order to do whatever they want on that piece of land. So when you sign an easement, you're giving your rights up pretty much to that piece. It's still your property, but they can do whatever they want. So the city will fucking be able to dig up wires and plumbing and all this shit.
Fuck that.
There's an easement. Yeah, there's an easement right across like my fucking driveway. So
at the time, Stanford was the manager of St. John's County, of which St. Augustine is the county seat. Athalia had apparently suggested to the county commission that Stanford wasn't qualified for his job, appearing at least 4 times before the commission to complain about him. This is what I'm saying. This bitch is see you next Tuesday. She just complains about everything. She takes other people's problems and makes them her own. Sounds like, those people, it's like
Karen.
They're nosy.
Yeah,
I guess they have to make a word for it. Man, I've seen some nice Karens, but
it's a Karen, bro.
The one Karen I know is a total sheep, like a total sheep. It's whatever. It's like one of my friends. It's one of my friends' moms I grew up with, but she's actually friends with Chelsea's mom, and Chelsea's mom and her do not see eye to eye with the shit that's going on right now, at all. Cause it's all brainwashing. So Athalia would claim that Stanford had neglected his duties of maintaining and building roads. But her complaints also verged into personal. Randall described the commission meeting where Athalia publicly accused Stanford of putting sugar in her Cadillac's gas tank. It's like she's just making up shit at this point.
Maybe they had her killed by somebody, bro. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was this commissioner, or maybe it was the mayor. Right? He said, "Fuck my wife. I hate that bitch, and I want her dead." So I think a lot of things could have gone down in this, in this situation.
Yeah, I know, and it is the 70s, and we don't condone trimming that bush. We want that bush in the 70s and 80s. We want it, man. It's all good, man. My favorite porno is the 80s, so I don't mind a little bush, bro. I like a little story, I like a little background.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with the bush.
Yeah, exactly.
Rock that shit, bro.
So supposedly that she also said October 9th, 1974, that Stanford threatened her, saying, "That man threatened my life. He threatened to kill me. Sure, he seems fishy, but also seems incredibly risky to murder your neighbor." Oh, that's
Yeah, she didn't quote that, bro.
That was me quoting it. So she said he threatened to kill me, but he seemed fishy, and it also seemed incredibly risky to murder your own neighbor, because it seems, like I don't. And he's the one, isn't he? He's the one that found her because he heard her screaming. So
yeah, that's that. Oh yeah, that's pretty fishy too, right? And like my neighbor, bro, I've been having issues. I've been having issues with him where his dog keeps shitting in my lawn. So
you're gonna pull out your machete?
No, I keep taking pictures of the shit and I just send it to him and I make him come clean it up.
Athalia ratted out Stanford. According to Randall, mere hours before Athalia's murder, Stanford had been visited by the Florida Department of Professional and Occupational Regulations at Athalia's request. Randall says that they were investigating to see whether Stanford was in violation of the Florida state statutes. Jesus fuck.
Yeah, statutes. That's fine.
Statutes? Weird. That's a little fuel to the fire there. I don't know if there's enough to push him over the edge. It is certainly not good enough, and it's not good. It doesn't look great, but it's still a wonder if, why would you're going to murder someone over this stuff, really?
Or push him over the hedge. Oh, man. So it wasn't enough to push him over the hedge.
Yes.
It's certainly not good. It's not good. It doesn't look great, but I still wonder. So.
Yes. When Locke McCormick first heard of Athalia's screams, he looked to her home and told his grandma, "Mr. Stanford is hitting Miss Ponsell." So it's so that must be her actual last name, rather than Lindsay.
That was her maiden name.
Maiden name, yeah. But it seemed like they heard. Yeah, I guess it was her maiden name. But no, it wasn't. It wasn't Stanford that found her. It was the other McCormick, which he didn't like her either. It seemed like nobody liked
this bitch. Yeah.
So McCormick later explained he had assumed it was Stanford based on his clothing and the fact that the man was walking back towards Stanford's house, but didn't see the man's face and really know if it was him. The police also noted a blood trail that cut across her driveway to a concrete wall that demarcated the divide in her property.
Between her property and Stanford. Yeah. So, yeah. So it's like a wall between the two properties, and it fucking went over. Apparently.
Strange. So the sheriff took McCormick to a hypnotist in hopes of unlocking further memories. Of course he did. Who was this Barney and Betty Hill? The results were inconclusive. That sounds a bit about par of the course of the investigation methods in Florida. Yeah. Let's spray down the crime scene with a hose. Too much blood.
It doesn't surprise me not one bit.
Dexter would be disappointed. Be like, blood? So much blood.
Yeah, exactly.
So recall Dewey Lee had discovered that package of evidence, including a bloody shirt and a watch. While the shirt had been sitting in salt water and mud for too long to determine conclusively if blood on the shirt was Athalia's blood type, a forensic expert was able to identify a laundry mark as Stanford's name. So, laundry mark, I don't know, like a laundry mark. I don't know what they really mean by that. Strange. Ultimately, however, it was decided the mark was too faint and garbled to be conclusive.
So they
Yeah.
literally had the evidence to convict somebody, but the technology just wasn't there, or they fucking just weren't there.
So I was thinking it was the husband at first, but now it seems like the evidence is pointing towards this good old cuckold.
No, that is the husband though. All the evidence that they have is Stanford or whatever the fuck his name is. That's what I'm saying. They had all this evidence, but they fucking couldn't do anything about it because.
But Stanford was the neighbor. Her husband is not. That's not her husband. Her husband.
Oh, that's the You're right. You're right.
was-
He's the the
James.
commissioner. Yeah. You're right.
Joms.
I'm
Yeah.
retarded.
So it sorry, Abba. Yeah. Don't you have that sound effect?
Yeah, I do somewhere.
I don't like him.
No, wrong one.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
Yeah, it's fucked. So, at first, I was thinking it was the husband, but it seems like this guy literally could have done it. So they're talking about, that they don't really know, the evidence didn't really show. So more damning was Stanford it was the watch, which a jeweler identified as Stanford's. They identified the watch as his, which means this motherfucker was the murderer. Stanford claimed that after the murder, he discovered his watch was missing. Somebody took your watch and then killed this woman and planted the evidence. Really? So he was indicated for the murder. His friends and fellow church members raised 20 grand for his bail, and it was estimated $250,000 defense fund, which had the same buying power of more than $1.3 million today to defend this church-going, God-loving murderer, most likely.
Oh, and a quick side note: at the time of Francis Burmese murder,
Bemis.
Stanford was out on bail. Damn, bro.
Yes, but why'd he kill this bitch though?
He fucking hated her, bro.
She's talking shit for Francis. He's just like, man.
Oh yeah.
Or maybe you know how she said, I know something about the murder. She said she knew something about the case and she was writing a book on it. So it seems like she might have known that Stanford was the killer.
It had to be somebody who heard her saying that shit, bro.
Yeah. And she's like, oh, this is like the safest place ever. No, it was Stanford. No, that bitch knew. She knew.
It's like, safe, I'm going to show you safe, bitch.
So with the money raised by his friend, Stanford mounted a good defense, and Stanford's defense did position that the sheriff's Dudley, this guy's name is Dudley, Dudley or it's got to be Dudley.
Dudley, yeah.
Dudley Garrett. Dudley do wrong. So Dewey Lee and Athalia's husband, James Lindsley, have all worked together to frame Stanford.
Yeah.
Man, this goes deep. It's Dudley Garrett. Dudley. I just meant, you ever seen Dudley Do Right?
No.
With the actor that my girlfriend absolutely despises.
Nicolas Cage?
No, not him. That's one of them. Brandon Fraser.
Who the fuck is this? Sounds familiar.
Brandon Fraser, the guy from The Mummy.
Oh, from Monkey Bone.
Yes.
Yeah, bro. I love that guy.
She just finds him creepy. So the defense, they said that maybe Dewey Lee, they said he was a scammer. While he was on the stand, a defense attorney asked Dewey, isn't it a fact that you were looking for a spot where nobody could see or put that in the stuff in the swamp? It does seem like they were like kind of desperately grasping for straws, because they paid in today's money $1.3 million for a defense.
Yeah. No, and all the evidence, bro, pointed towards that he fucking did this shit.
So key to the defense was the testimony of Adeline McLaughlin, data processing clerk and neighbor who was riding her bike past Adelaide's home, Atalia's home. I guess it's Adelaide or Atalia. I've been saying Atalia, so that's what it is.
Yeah,
Um,
Talia.
Atalia's home. At the time, oh, because her name's Adelaide. Adelaide testified that she had seen Dewey in Atalia's yard less than 2 hours before the murder took place. After 2.5 hours of deliberation on February 3rd, 1975, the jury declared Stanford innocent. Afterwards, Sheriff Garrett told reporters, "Yes, I think Stanford did it. I signed the complaint against him, and I don't concur with the verdict." There is something weird to be said about a town believing so much that this man did not do it that they literally raised $250,000 only deliberating in the jury for 2.5 hours, saying, "Yeah, he didn't do it." So this guy's got his hands in some pockets.
We knew that, bro. That's what I fucking said at the beginning.
It's fucking weird. So in 1974, in a span of fewer than 10 months, 2 women were violently murdered by the same hand, essentially in the same Florida community. By a hand in the same Florida community, 2 people died. The person responsible for either or even both deaths is a mystery. It's strange, and could it have been a disgruntled husband, someone who's not getting the shebang, fed up neighbor, a scheming mechanic, or someone else entirely? The case remains unsolved.
I'm trying to find this dude.
Stanford's definitely did it.
Yeah, 100%. I'm trying to find a picture of him to see if he's still alive or not, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm watching the chat, Anton. I see that guy that said buy followers and prime viewers. I'm not doing that.
That's just a bot. Just fucking delete that shit.
It's always the mailman. It might be the mailman. It might be the guy bringing over the milk.
Yeah, some milk.
So I honestly, it literally seems like Stanford did it. He just obviously, it seemed like this guy was obviously aggressive and angry and fucked up. And it seemed like he's like, all right, well, I've had enough. So.
Yeah, he did that shit, bro. 100%. I think he hated that bitch and he fucking took it out on her.
How do I make we'll bring this to an end and I'll talk to Anton for a sec.
Yeah, just leave that for the end.
So I don't know. I think that Stanford may have done it. It just seems like everything is pointing towards him. You know, at first I was like, man, the husband's a little sketchy, but it does seem like Stanford has all the evidence pointing towards him. 100%.
Yeah, so moral of the story is love thy neighbor and don't be a fucking piece of shit and murder your fuck. You know, if you just trim your hedges, everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And your bush. No, you don't need to do that. I love that. So you know where to find us. Go to www.strangebrewpodcast.com. We're going to have some new merch coming out. Follow the Twitch page, Strange Brew TTV. Support us on Patreon at www.patreon.com/strangebrewpodcast. Follow us on Instagram. You know where to find us. Literally look up Strange Brew Podcast wherever you want to find us. TikTok, whatever. Just find us. You know, if you enjoy this, find us.
Yeah, at the Juan podcast, anywhere you listen to your podcast at. Make sure to leave me a good review. Don't leave me a shitty one. How they've been doing on Tom's shit.
Yep. Oh, you can show the. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. We love all you guys. You know, stay strange, all you motherfuckers out there.
And hold on.
All right.
Hail Nicolas Cage.
Don't hail that fucking useless actor. All right. How do I make you a mod, Anton? That's cool. I've seen Anton do this where you can show the comments. Can you set it so you can show all the comments?
I think so.
Oh, I should set it for that. It's kind of fun. I'll stalk you all. Dutch, get back on the Patreon, you cuck. I saw you fucking unsubscribed.
And way to call him out, bro.
I know.
Fucking piece of shit.
Also, Dutch, if you haven't bought merch, man, the new merch site is cheaper. It's still, it's actually cheaper for people in the States, 100%. So in the States, so I put out the Fuck Trudeau merch, and it's $18 for a t-shirt in the States, $12 for shipping. So it's not terrible. But in Canada, my buddy bought 2 sweaters and a mug. It wasn't too badly priced. But so essentially, like I was looking at the t-shirt. So with shipping for a t-shirt, it's $36, which is just because the shipping is shitty when you're going through technically a middleman. But till we find a big distributor that can actually do the shipping cheaper. Yeah. What's fucked? What am I fucked for? Why am I fucked? That's
that you call them out for unsubscribing.
But yeah, so like I gotta set up how to set up mods and shit like that. But Juan repping that shirt. What is he? What shirt are you wearing?
Tinfoil hat, bro. I was on fucking Tripoli's Only Conspiracies today, bro.
Strange Brew Podcast. You know where to find merch. Stay strange, not asleep, motherfuckers.
Yes, I was wearing that, and I was wearing my fucking. He really liked the episode is live on Rockfin, so you can check it out. But he really fucking liked the tinfoil hat beanie. He's like, beanie. He's gonna be like, I want to fucking link up with those people and do something with the pod so they could sell those fucking beanies. So
there's a tinfoil beanie.
Yeah, it's right there.
You never told me about that.
Yeah, I wore it on the episode today.
That's fucking strange. All right, you fuckers. I was gonna say something else and I can't fucking remember. No, you wore the shirt on the podcast. It's like when I interviewed Mr. Hyde, I wore a Mr. Hyde bandana and a Mr. Hyde shirt. And he was like, "Oh, I appreciate you repping the shit."
Yeah, he's like, "That's a nice shirt, bro." Literally, fucking says it on the podcast. So,
that's so funny.
Fuck yeah, I'm gonna fucking rep tinfoil hat.
All right, you know what to do. Follow us, all you strange fuckers. You know what? I'll be gaming more on Twitch.
Nicolas Cage.
If you're looking for my streams on Twitch, I'll be getting on at 8 a.m. on Saturdays and Sundays. All right, love all you fuckers. I'll talk to you soon, Juan.
All right.